Hey, Cinnamon Rage here, and welcome to race 18 of season 6 of ILR 3. And you can see there, after probably about 5-week break, partly because I also missed the last race due to holidays of work, can't remember quite. It's been a while since I've actually been racing, but I got 13th, which is fine. I could have been certainly in the 15s. I'd done 15s in practice, but I don't think it would have made any difference to my position. But the goal here, keep it clean into the first sector. Obviously gets a wee bit busy, just kind of playing it safe, trying to avoid people, though byproduct of that is I dropped 2 positions into the third corner there, but managing to make them back up a wee bit as we come along the straight. You can see ahead, just 33 Easy Dreams, or Drama possibly. He's disconnected. I'm not too sure why, but I believe he gets back in, I don't know, like 4 or 5 or something similar to that, which is a shame. Obviously now having to drive through his ghost car is always kind of a wee bit tricky whenever you're going through someone's ghost car, but luckily get the job done quickly and it allows me to carry on. You can see there the bike Barclay just having a wee bit of an issue there, kind of going through the fast S's in the second sector as we come in here to the stadium section. Now, kind of seemed like the field was staying pretty close. It also seemed like there wasn't too much drama at this point, to be honest, although my teammate Edited Fawn got some damage. I can't remember who with, and has had to pit. But you can see ahead there's a wee bit of flouting the rules going on. You're meant to move once, but you can see Hamilton has moved 3 times and possibly 4, I've said, but I don't know if that's actually just moving back onto the racing line, which doesn't count. But either way, 3 moves minimum, which I think is playing a wee bit fast and loose with the rules, and I know it happened before. At this point I take a wee shunt in the back from Bibbin, but I don't think you get any wing damage, though he did lose a place there. Just because I was having to brake a wee bit earlier just because of the battling ahead. And you can see the bike Barkey here gets a bad run into these fast S's again in the second sector, and it just, the amount of speed he just lost there because of it. It's so easy, you make one wee mistake there and you can see it's just knocked him right out for that entire run, and he's locked up and gone too far ahead. It was quite good to get past him at this point because the bike Barkey was in the slower medium tyre, so really you do want to just get past and hang on to the guys in front, because Lukey and that once they're ahead are just going to disappear up the road. So Hamilton, who was ahead of Lukey, was actually on the harder compound, and he just at this point is starting to go, just leave us behind. Lukey does, unlike what we'd seen earlier, does make the one move, and I do manage to get the move done under DRS on the main straight. Wee bit of a lock up, but the move sticks, and taking quite a lot of curb as you have to do in this game, which, to be honest, if you misjudge you end up with quite a lot of penalties, and you're going to see at the end that penalties are quite common. I'm not going to skip ahead to a future lap, we're on lap 7 just now, just because basically there's another thing happening as soon as we hit this straight. You can see I had a fair gap to Lukey behind, although it's down to 0.6 seconds now, but the DRS and the slipstream is quite impressive in this game. I stay fairly defensive, but credit where credit's due, he does go round the high side of me in a really nice move and gets the job done as we enter into the second DRS straight. But the way the DRS works is he still has DRS, I don't get it back, even though he passed me before it. So yeah, he stays up through the road. I think his setup might have been lower downforce or higher downforce, because he does get through that so much better than I do. At this point I have my second coming together with Bibbin, and it wasn't clear, we do chat on the chat afterwards, but it wasn't clear if I'd done something wrong. But looking at this, I was turning in for the corner at this point when the contact was made, so I don't actually think I did anything wrong. I think it was just one of those sort of racing incidents. I think there was blame to be assigned, but certainly I was worried that I'd done something a bit daft, and luckily it seems like I didn't, because you don't want to be thinking you've ruined someone's race because he'd got spun, or certainly put sideways, and lost a couple of places. At this point though, we're on lap 9. The game had suggested lap 11 for the first stint. Wasn't fresh tyres being outside the top 10, but the bite barky was catching me so quickly. I knew my tyres were going off, and I decided I would just, on this one, when I had someone so close behind, just pit early. And you can see I managed to stay ahead of my teammate Fawn. I do open up a bit of a gap to Fawn, simply because he's on the slower compound tyre and he has been on them for quite a few laps at this point. Lucky, I managed to get a jump with the undercut, but yeah, just he's quicker than me, so eventually catches me up. And yeah, that's him once again under DRS, straight past me. So we enter lap 19, so I did actually make the tyres last to 10 laps this time. And again, interesting to see where I come out. I was in the top 10, and you can see I've dropped to 13, just keeping Cheesy Dreams behind me. And I was going to keep, certainly the hope is that I can keep him behind me, given he was on the hard compound tyre, which isn't the best, as we pass my teammate's stricken car here at the side in the middle of the second sector. And we're going to come up and see Lucky, who had been kind of behind for most of the race, bending a wall at the side. To be honest, I was pretty confident I would have had him anyway. He had 15 seconds worth of penalties at that point, and I had 3, although I would go on to finish with 6. So sadly, although the penalty times were high, you're not going to see my position change here. I am going to finish in 9th place, but 2 points after not having practiced for like 5 weeks, not taking part in the last race. All in all, I was pretty pleased with it. So that's another wee 2 points to myself. I think I still dropped places in the league because the likes of Jamie and that jumped me in the standings, just because they joined a wee bit later on, hence why they were below initially. But with first places, etc., they were always going to jump me. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll have another one out in a week's time after we've done the race in the US next Friday. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks guys.